I found out I owed $90,000 for a car I never bought. Turns out my own brother forged my name to get it. I kept quiet and waited for his birthday. When the cake came out, I served him something colder than justice. My name is Lucas. I work from home as a freelancer, live alone in a small apartment, and I haven't owned a car in over a year. My days are simple: deadlines, calls, groceries, sleep. That's it. It started like any other Tuesday. I wrapped up a client call, brewed some tea, kicked off my shoes, and checked my email. Among the usual spam and newsletters was a subject line that didn't belong. Final reminder, payment overdue, Tesla finance. I snorted. I don't even have a Tesla. Never have. I haven't even driven in months. So I deleted it. But the next day, it came again. Same subject. Different sender. Then a week later, a physical letter. Thick envelope. Official seal. Then another. And another. Then came the voicemail. A woman from a collections agency. Her tone was sharp, her words clipped. Mr. Lucas Grant, this is a final notice regarding your delinquent auto loan. Please return our call immediately. Legal action may follow. My stomach nodded. I don't have an auto loan. I don't even have a car. Something was off. Terribly off. I didn't sleep that night. I kept replaying the voicemail in my head. The voice didn't sound like a scammer. It sounded legitimate. Stern. Real. By morning, I pulled my full credit report. And that's when my entire world flipped inside out. There it was. A brand new auto loan. $90,000. Opened 4 months ago. Under my name. With my social security number. My old employer listed. A company I hadn't worked at in years. I blinked. Scanned again. The address linked to the loan. My parents' house. The email attached looked like mine, same structure, but a single character had been swapped. The phone number. Off by 1 digit. Even the signature on file looked eerily like mine, but it wasn't. Not quite. It was like staring into a cracked mirror. Everything was almost right. Almost me. But not. I was shaking. This wasn't a data breach. This was targeted. Deliberate. Someone who knew me, really knew me, had put this together. And that's when I remembered. Back in college, my brother and I had worked on a group project. He needed my ID for school admin, so I scanned it and dropped it into our shared drive. Totally forgot about it. Never deleted it. But he hadn't forgotten. Suddenly, everything clicked. The mirror image. The fake details. The Tesla. The loan wasn't opened by a stranger. It was Daniel. My own brother. I called my mom. Tried to keep my voice even, steady. Hey, is there a new car parked out front? Something expensive. She chuckled like I was joking. Oh, Daniel's new car. Isn't it gorgeous? That thing's like a spaceship. You'd love it. My throat went dry. So it was true. The Tesla, my Tesla, was sitting in their driveway like a trophy. He wasn't hiding it. He was parading it. Daniel. My older brother. 4 years ahead. Engineer. Golden child. We were close once, or maybe I just wanted us to be. Growing up, I looked up to him. Wanted to be him. He was the one with the awards, the charm, the easy confidence. And somehow, he always made me feel like I was chasing him, like I'd always be a step behind. But this wasn't just a betrayal. It was a theft of identity. Of me. He didn't just forge a signature. He hijacked my name, my credit, my future. And never said a word. No apology. No heads up. No guilt. He just did it. And drove off smiling. I wanted to scream. But instead, I opened a new folder on my desktop. I named it Daniel, Tesla Fraud. Because if he wanted to play games with my life, I'd respond with evidence. I didn't confront him. Not yet. Confrontation without proof is just noise. And I wasn't going to shout into the void. So I went quiet. On the outside, life moved normally. I smiled during Zoom calls, replied to emails, hit deadlines. But after dark, I became a detective. I scoured my credit report line by line. Pulled public VIN lookups. Reached out to Tesla Finance, posed as myself, because I am me, and requested documents. I gathered everything. Loan agreements. Forged pay stubs. The fake email linked to the account. Timestamps. IP addresses. Phone logs. I called the bank directly. Got transferred 3 times. Finally reached someone helpful. She confirmed it. Yes, Mr. Grant. You personally picked up the vehicle at the dealership location in Orange County on March 17th. I'd never even been in Orange County. I recorded that call. Saved the file. Then I looped in a friend who works in cybersecurity. He helped trace the IP logins back to an account Daniel had used in the past. Another friend, a lawyer, walked me through the process of filing a police report. Every piece of the puzzle fit too perfectly. There was no doubt. Daniel had stolen my identity. And he did it with the kind of precision that comes from family knowledge. He knew my history. My habits. My vulnerabilities. But he underestimated one thing. How cold I could be when I'm quiet. I built the case like a prosecutor preparing for court. Everything went into the folder. Screenshots of the loan application. PDFs of the forged documents. Side-by-side comparisons of my real signature and the fake one. Photos of the Tesla parked smugly in my parents' driveway. Credit bureau reports showing the loan wrecking my score. The call recording with the bank rep saying I picked up the car, time-stamped and signed, by someone pretending to be me. Every detail, every lie, every digital fingerprint. I labeled each file meticulously. Loan_application_fake.pdf. Voice call _Tesla rep _March.mp3. Photo _Tesla _driveway.jpg. Police report _draft.docs. I even drafted a timeline. January, loan submitted. March, Tesla picked up. April, first overdue notice. May, collections begin. June, discovery. And now. July, retribution. It wasn't about revenge, not entirely. It was about reclaiming my name. Restoring the life he had quietly set on fire. I contacted the police. Filed the report. Forwarded the evidence. They opened an investigation. The detective called 2 days later. Lucas, I have to say, this is one of the most airtight identity theft cases I've seen. We'll be in touch. I hung up and stared at the wall. It was real now. Official. A fuse had been lit. I didn't know how far it would burn. But I knew exactly where it would explode. A week later, the group chat pinged. Dinner at 7 next Saturday. Daniel's birthday, family only. I stared at the message. Perfect. I booked a flight. Reserved a cheap motel not far from the house I hadn't called home in years. Packed one bag. Black shirt. Neutral pants. Calm expression. The night of the dinner, I pulled up to the driveway, the Tesla still gleaming under the porch light like it had earned its place. Daniel opened the door, surprised. Didn't think you'd come, man. I smiled, cool as frost. Oh, I wouldn't miss it. Inside, the house looked the same. Same floral centerpiece on the dining table. Same smell of lasagna in the oven. Same family chatter. But something had shifted in me. Like I was a guest in someone else's dream. Everyone was there. Cousins. Aunties. His girlfriend Melanie. Mom and Dad beaming like nothing could be more perfect. Daniel was the star. Telling stories, cracking jokes, pouring wine like he was the king of this tiny castle. And I played along. Smiled. Laughed when expected. Waited. Because after the cake came the gifts. And after the gifts came the end. After the cake was cut and the candles blown out, everyone gathered in the living room for presents. Laughter. Jokes. Torn wrapping paper. Then it was my turn. I stood up slowly and handed Daniel a small, matte black box. He raised an eyebrow. From you. I nodded. Yeah. Thought you'd appreciate it. He opened it casually, but his fingers stopped mid-motion. The smile on his face froze. Inside the box was a silver flash drive labeled Play Me. A folded copy of the police report. Color printouts of the forged loan documents. Photos of the Tesla in their driveway. And a typed note, just 5 words. I know. And so do the police. He stared at it, expression unreadable. Then he forced a laugh. Okay, what is this? Some weird joke. I met his eyes, calm and steady. No joke. I stepped back and raised my glass. Happy birthday, Daniel. You'll be getting a call soon, but not from me. The room fell into a black hole of silence. Mom's face crumpled into confusion. Dad's mouth hung open, trying to piece together what just happened. Melanie turned to Daniel, then to me, then back to him. No one moved. Daniel didn't speak. Didn't blink. The lie had been unwrapped, in front of everyone. And there was no putting it back in the box. I left without another word. Didn't stay for cleanup. Didn't say goodbye. I walked out of that house and into the night like I'd just dropped a match on everything I used to love. 3 days later, the call came, not to me, but to Daniel. He was arrested at his workplace. Charged with identity theft, fraud, and forgery. His boss let him go on the spot. Melanie. She ended the engagement before the sun set. And the Tesla. Repossessed before the week was out. I watched it all from a distance. I thought I'd feel triumphant. I thought justice would feel like victory. But it didn't. I still had to repair the damage. Hours on the phone with credit bureaus. Filling out affidavits. Proving I was, me. It took months to clear the wreckage he left behind. My credit. Slowly recovered. But the real damage. That ran deeper. Every time I tried to work, I'd freeze. Every time the phone rang, I flinched. Trust felt like a loaded word. This wasn't just a legal mess. It was personal carnage. The kind that doesn't show up on a report. The kind you carry in your bones. I thought that would be the end of it. But life doesn't wrap itself up with neat little bows. 2 months later, I got a call from Dad. Mom had collapsed. She'd stopped sleeping. Stopped eating. Barely spoke after Daniel's arrest. The doctor said stress had triggered a stroke. She never recovered. I flew home for the funeral. Same house. Same driveway. But now the air was thick with silence and accusation. Dad didn't look at me once. At the gravesite, as they lowered her casket, he stepped close. His voice barely a whisper, but each word struck like a hammer. You killed her. I didn't respond. I couldn't. I just stood there, feeling like I'd set fire to the truth, and the smoke had swallowed everything I ever cared about. Afterward, I sat alone on the porch steps while people inside passed around casseroles and condolences. Everyone said she died of grief. No one blamed Daniel. Just me. For telling the truth. For breaking the silence. For choosing justice over family. Grief is a strange thing. It makes villains of the honest and martyrs of the liars. And somehow, I was the one who had to carry the weight. Daniel served 14 months. Not nearly enough, in my opinion. But time moves fast when you're not the one in the cell. He got out and disappeared, changed his name, moved 2 states over. I would have been fine never hearing from him again. But snakes don't stay silent forever. A month after his release, he emailed me. The subject line. You ruined everything. I almost deleted it. But curiosity won. Inside was a wall of bitterness. He blamed me for the arrest. For the breakup. For our mother's death. Not once did he apologize. Not once did he admit what he did. He said I could have handled it privately. Said I chose ego over family. Said I was jealous. Jealous of what, exactly? The Tesla. The debt. The criminal record. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I archived the message and blocked the address. I didn't need a reply. Some people don't want forgiveness. They want permission to keep hurting you. And I wasn't giving that to him. Not ever again. Some nights, I lie awake replaying it all. The email. The discovery. The birthday dinner. The fallout. I don't regret what I did. If I had to do it all again, I would. But that doesn't mean it didn't cost me. I didn't just lose a brother. I lost my mother. My father. My family. People think justice is clean. That it restores balance. But the truth is, sometimes justice is just survival. And survival is messy. I walk with a quiet ache now. Not guilt, because guilt belongs to the guilty. Not regret, because the alternative was letting him destroy me. What I carry is grief. Grief for a family that shattered the moment I demanded to be seen. Grief for the boy who once looked up to his brother. For the mother who couldn't hold both of her sons without breaking in half. For the version of me that believed blood was enough. It isn't. People ask me if it was worth it. If burning down everything, the trust, the family dinners, the illusion, was really necessary. I always answer the same. It wasn't a choice. He made it the moment he stole my name. See, identity theft isn't just about money. It's not just about credit scores and bank statements. It's about erasure. He didn't just sign my name, he lived in it. Took what he wanted. Left the wreckage behind, expecting me to sweep it up in silence. And for a while, I almost did. Because that's what we're taught, right? Family first. Keep the peace. Don't air dirty laundry. But silence protects the wrong people. If I hadn't fought back, what would have come next? A mortgage. More loans. A full-on second life built on my back. He counted on me staying quiet. But I found something louder than fear. The truth. And when I stood in that room and handed him that box, I wasn't just exposing him. I was reclaiming me. I live quietly now. Still freelance. Still remote. No flashy car. No big house. Just peace. People see my calm and assume I've healed. But healing isn't always visible. Some days, I catch myself staring at the ceiling, wondering how it all unraveled. How a single email turned into a funeral, a trial, a family broken beyond repair. But then I remember. I didn't steal. I didn't lie. I didn't destroy anyone's life. I told the truth. And sometimes, that's all you have left. Not everyone will clap for you when you choose integrity. Sometimes the cost of doing what's right is everything you thought was unshakable. But I kept my name. My dignity. My sense of self. Daniel took so much from me. But he didn't take me. And when the world went silent. When the family turned cold. When even the memory of my mother became too heavy to hold. I still had the truth. And I held it like a flame in the dark. Because in the end, it was the only thing worth saving.